guys, and welcome back to Eldarya. So today we're playing through episode 12. I'm still so behind. Anyway, we're gonna catch up. We'll get there eventually. I've got my Christmas outfit on. I'm all ready for the holidays. I'm going to check in with all the characters so we can have a look at the lavometers, and see where we're going. So Never, of course, is at 100. I'm actually quite surprised that Ezarel's at 50 because I didn't think we really got along very well. I usually choose the options which try to like stir him up and stuff. So yeah, I'm surprised it's at 50. He must like that kind of thing, or I don't know. And then 35 for the other two. So anyway, let's just go straight into the episode because they usually take a while to get through. So episode 12, Toxic Mission. In a new region, you must investigate on some mysterious poisonings. What could possibly be lying in that obscure cave in which you will be leading your investigation? I don't know, but I'm sure I'm going to find out. I mean, seriously, can you believe it? I've been here for more than a week, loafing around like a limp fish. Seriously, it's becoming a serious drag. I've never seen Chrome so annoyed. That said, it's totally understandable that he is. Hey now, chill out a little. I'm sure he had a good reason to ditch us like that. I don't know what's happening right now. I'm so confused. Don't give me that. You've been here since yesterday. You have no idea how lame it's getting here. Leave him alone to his cursing. Take a deep breath. Calm down. Hey, calm down. It's not worth getting mad at me like that. I'm going to go for this last one. Because, hey, don't you talk to me like that. I'll get mad at whoever I like. No, precisely no. Have a little respect. I'm not your dog. What? You mean I'm his? That's not what I'm saying. Don't twist my words, you little shit. Grr. Jeez, it's moments like this that remind me Chrome's still a kid. The most we can do is wait for him to come back. Like you said, you've already started looking in the caves and haven't found anything. I don't know if it's wise to keep going with the cave explorations while we still don't know anything more about the sickness. I still don't know what's going on. I can't remember. I know. He already explained everything to me. It still bugs me though. Who is this he we're talking about? I understand. I'm frustrated myself to be kept in the dark, and especially feeling so useless. But we have to deal with it and be patient. What is this? When did you suddenly get so mature? What do you mean? I don't know. Usually you'd be shouting, my mattress, to everyone. Chrome, quit making fun of me. Hee. On a more serious note, looks like Lady Huanghua's visit changed you. That's a possibility. I'm going to try to think about it a little more. Well, that's good. Maybe you'll stop saying random stuff all the time. I couldn't help but punch him in the shoulder. Child abuse, Jesus. Come on now, little Cerberus. We'd better get back to the inn. I am not a Cerberus. That's true. Luckily, you have only one head. I started running to get ahead of him. I am not a dog, cat brain. I stopped and pointed my finger at him. It's bird brain, but nice try. Yeah, well. Chrome is pretty sweet after all. He tried to use terms from my word to have the last word, but he failed. What a crazy idea it was, telling him about that. I don't know where I am or what I'm doing, but I guess I'm going to the village inn like the objective says. That would be a good place to start, right? Chrome is still making a face. Of course he is. Could you stop sulking for 5 minutes? Come on now, give me a smile. You look like a beaten puppy. It's annoying. Let's go with the first one. No, I don't want to. Chromie. Well, what? I'm making an effort here. I preferred Cerberus. Chromie, that's just too weird. At least Cerberus has a kick to it. Pretend I didn't hear anything. Jump at the chance to give him a nickname worse than Chromie. Let's go for the second one. Serby? No way. I'm just teasing. Okay, I'm going to walk around. Don't you want to come and eat a little something before? No, there's no moon tonight. I'd rather fast. Oh, really? Why? I have trouble digesting when there's no moon. It was the same for my mother. Okay. He walked off looking all weird. Is that because he brought up his mother? Well, it's no use thinking about that now. He'll talk about it when he wants to, like with Valkion, after what Karen told me about him. I wonder if, like Valkion, Chrome might have lost a loved one. I'd better go get dinner. Maybe tomorrow I'll find out more about the mission and what lies in the depths of this cave. Most of all, I hope I'll be able to move the investigation forward. I went back to the inn to have dinner and went to bed before nightfall. Like the day before, when the sky was becoming darker and darker, I thought I saw a sort of fluorescent mist in the distance, but the cave was about 2 miles away, which really worried me. I went to bed quite quickly, then got up at dawn at the crowing of a companion that looked just like a cockerel, except that it had udders like a cow. I quickly went downstairs to meet Chrome in front of the inn. The Eldarya companions sure take strange forms. Sometimes it's just like 2 animals have been mixed together. It reminds me of okapi, an animal that looks like a cross between a giraffe and a zebra. Hey there. Heya, did you sleep well? Yeah, more or less. Say, did you see it too? The mist, I mean. Yes. It's crazy that we can see it from here, and that the villagers aren't more worried than that. Maybe they don't know what to do. Any news on the explorations? No, none. I don't really know what's going on, but for 10 minutes there's been a whole load of people gathering around the matriarch. I won't even tell you the number of people who were death staring me as if I were going to bite them. Come on, we'll go see. Listen, whoa, what is this? Listen, yes, what happened to Wilfried is awful, but the God of El promised us healthcare and help. Everything will be fine. My dear Amelia, your fiancé will be returned to you safe and sound, rest assured. The sickness is not fatal. We can cure it. We will cure him too. Luckily, we found him in time, and he'll be on his feet again in a few days. Amelia, let's prepare horses and a caravan. As soon as the young elf returns, all 3 of you will set off on the road to HQ. Oh my, I think there's been another contamination during the night. Unless I'm mistaken, is Wilfried the guardian of the village gates? Oh no, and to think he's the one who invited us here. His poor spouse. She looks desperate. Ugh, another victim. At this rate, Evelyn had better stay in the village and send someone else with the caravans of patients. Yes, that's for sure. She's been going back and forth for a whole week. She must be exhausted. She insists on ensuring attentive monitoring of her patients. If only she could manage to delegate. Our investigation must move forward, and for that, he simply must listen to us this time. Let's go see him. He said he was going to be near the caves today. Sure. Follow Chrome to the cave. Ooh, attention. You can spend this episode with only one of the 3 boys, Ezarel, Never, or Valkion. If you don't end up with your favourite, you still have to finish your episode or your replay. Damn it! Does that mean it's random? That sucks! When you finish the episode once with each of the boys, you can choose the one you want to be with for each of the subsequent replays. One more thing, if you spent your first episode with Ezarel, you can only be with either Never or Valkion during a replay, and if you do the replay with Never, you'll have to be with Valkion on your 3rd go. No. Are you sure you've got it? Yes! Oh my god, please, 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 fingers crossed, give me Never! Oh my god! Perfect, have an awesome episode. Well, that depends on... Oh, anyone but Ezarel. Oh, why? Oh my god, okay. Okay, this is fine. We'll deal with it. Let me guess, Castor and Pollux to the rescue. So, Casti, you no longer have an egg on your head. He started to look me up and down. Why does this happen to me? Castor and Pollux, that rings a bell, actually. Castor and who? Let's go first one. Actually, no. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm certain he's referring to Pollux from the Magic Roundabout. Like Father Castor? Could he be talking about the twins from the Roman myth? After Twilight, do you think they have their version of the Hunger Games? I'm pretty sure it's this one. At the risk of seeming foolish, you were talking about the twins from Roman mythology, aren't you? Excuse me? Sorry, I should have figured you wouldn't know. That's purely earthling stuff. You've got it all wrong. I know Roman history extremely well. I'm surprised you know it too. I just thought anything to do with what you wrongly defined as myths didn't interest you. What do you mean, what wrongly defines us? Don't be mistaken, I really like mythology. Let's go with the first one, because we like arguing with him. You have so much to learn, sweetie. Oh, sweetie, please. Is this another one of his endless jokes? I can't always trust him on this. But what with the story of the flute player, I should actually start to rethink the veracity of all these legends I know. You guys going to explain this, or should I just keep observing this conjugal display? Seriously, you guys are such a drag when you exclude me from the conversation by saying things I don't even understand. Poor little puppy. If you want to know, I was referring to Pollux and Castor, two twins from Roman antiquity, so go revise your earthly history a little. Will it help you grow up a little? Ugh, doesn't look like Ezarel's in a particularly good mood. Chrome's saying nothing. What did you want from me, anyway? We heard about the Guardian. Was it you who found the body? Yes, he was a few steps away from the cave. What an idiot. We have forbidden nocturnal excursions outside of the village. What do you want to do? Should we explore the cave while there's still daylight? Out of the question. Go interview the villagers, find some clues to help explain what happened, and above all, do not go in without my permission. But Ezarel, how do you expect us to move things forward and learn stuff if you don't let us do anything? What are you going to do? Explore the caves and look for answers. Do you really think that staying here, standing around like morons, is going to help us understand what's going on? Hey, you should do what I tell you to. End of discussion. Since last time, the situation has worsened. I cannot allow one of us to catch the sickness. These villagers get better, miraculously. I refuse to let anything happen to you while you are under my orders, so scram. Grr, I feel absolutely useless. All we've done since yesterday is interview the villagers about what they know, which is to say, nothing. I'd really like to find a solution to this problem. Chrome and I walked off. Okay then, another day of idly chewing at the bit. Darn it, I hate being powerless like this. I understand, but orders are orders. Let's go search. Let's go together. The village isn't very big, and maybe the time will go faster that way. Sounds good to me. I also suggest we examine the crime scenes, like Ezarel suggested. Maybe we'll find something. Okay. Oh, I collected rocks and dust. I thought something showed up there. Anything? Nope. So I obviously feel totally useless, don't you? Yeah, seriously. And also, we're not going to be able to make any progress with so few clues. Maybe if we find more, the locals will give us useful information. Yes, let's go back in front of the cave. It really annoys me having to do a basic quest, but at the same time, I can't afford to show I'm angry about it. It's already a good thing I've been appointed to this mission. I imagine the work I did when Huang Hua came, and the warm recommendation of me she gave to Miko had their part to play. She's already been gone from HQ for a few days, and since then I haven't really had the time to relax. Oh, okay, a few days beforehand. Flashback! Phew, those were quite some days. My time with Huang Hua was at once exhausting and invigorating. I spent my afternoon at the library, not having any missions to go on. Kerashane had finally prepared the book for me, which contained all the major dates of Eldarya and their parallels in the Earth's history, give or take a few years or centuries. I'm sorry, it's not always very precise. You know, it took us some time to put an efficient sorting system into place after Eldarya was created. The first few centuries of our history are quite chaotic. Creation? First centuries? I think I've missed something here. What do you mean by all that? Oh, quite simply that when our ancestors moved here, they weren't necessarily the most organized, But I don't understand. Why aren't you talking about immigration instead of creation? Sorry to be so insistent. Don't be. But I don't understand what you mean. What don't you understand? This term, creation. What does that mean in this context? Was Eldarya created? Hasn't it always existed? Our ancestors created it a few centuries ago, a few decades before the Great Exile. I thought you knew that. Not at all. I thought it was quite a recent world. Yes, but I wanted to be sure. No, I didn't know anything about this. Tell me more. In that case, you should go take lessons in the refuge. Yes, I heard about that, but honestly, I never had the time. Would you like me to put you on the list? Oh, if you wouldn't mind. Okay, let me see what places are available. We don't have a lot of teachers volunteering, and so there aren't many places. Also, we'll have to put you down as a beginner, and especially as an individual. An individual? Yes, I have a hard time seeing you sitting with Mary and the other children to study all this. It could be very tiring for you after a while, I imagine. He started looking at his papers. Although, for now it might be difficult, as the only people able to teach you in the optimal way are away on missions, or about to leave on one, or overstretched. Can't you just let me know when someone becomes available? Some other time then. It's not very important. Well, thanks for the false hope. Let's go for the first one. Okay, that's what we'll do. I'll leave you alone then. Thank you for everything. Until next time, I headed for my bedroom with a few books that Kero had let me take in his arms. Wait, in my arms? Well, I sure have enough to read. Another day passed, during which I barely had time to eat. Since Wang Hua's visit, HQ was filled of little tasks that needed doing, like getting the kitchen back to normal, cleaning the bedrooms, etc. I was given quite a different mission, preparing food reserves for the coming winter. Okay, it's still a while away and Miko thinks I'm preparing too far in advance, but even so, better safe than sorry, right? That's for sure. Look, he's using a recipe book. It's pretty small and, especially, very old. It's almost falling to pieces. I took the time to flick through it a little before Karuto cleared his throat at me to get back to work. There were many medieval recipes for gruel, mackerel pate, pies. Also, it was written in Old English. Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt that. That must mean cook chicken and water. Now I understand a little better why I find their dishes so different to what I usually eat. I still wonder why exactly they have books like this. I'm going to ask him. Say, Karuto, about your recipe book. Why is it written in Old English? Don't you have any more recent ones? No. No. My books are already several hundred years old. I'd noticed. Our ancestors. Cooking is sacred. It's in our blood, I get that. But you sometimes go on excursions into my world. Couldn't you take advantage of that and bring back new recipe books so you could see what people are making nowadays and mix it up a little? We take what we can get our hands on, what we can steal, buy from the Little Earth peasants. You said steal. I never said that. You're imagining things. We don't steal. That's a lie. You're annoying me, kid. You're annoying me first. And also, as far as provisions go, we're quite limited in everything except for food. So for the common good of all of us, we prioritize books that could please the largest number of people, more than books that I'd be the only one using. You could mix things up a little. They have been bringing me some in recent years. I see. You are a very strange character, Karuto. Just so you know. I know. Ha ha ha. So I have another question. Why don't you read the instructions on the food you bring back? What instructions? Wait, I'll be right back. I left to get a bag of pasta and held it up to Karuto without even looking at the writing. Yes. Can you read that? Even Yukara and Kero don't understand it. Well, yes, they're Panzanos. It's not that diff. What is this language? Apart from the logo, I can't make anything out. See? Now then, keep your mouth shut and learn a thing or two from old Karuto. I'm having trouble believing this. I don't know where they get their food, but it's not in my country. You wouldn't be trying to trick me, would you? Eri, Karuto? My dear friend, sorry to disturb you, but I must borrow this young lady. I hope you don't mind. Go ahead, get this nosy snooper far away from me. Karuto! Very well. He's so rude! Eri, you should go see Miko. She has an important new mission to give you, if you're willing to accept it. For me, again? Yes, it would seem that Huang Hua was most impressed by you as a person, and she warmly recommended you to Miko. Oh yeah? Could this be the mission to help rebuild her temple? Hello, Miko. Do you have a new mission for me? Absolutely. Come over here. Hey, there's Ezarel. Ugh. As you know, before Huang Hua's arrival, Ezarel, here present, had been dispatched on a mission to the village of Belenvia. How do you know? As I was saying, oops, I think I've made her mad. Anyway. Naturally, we have decided to give him this mission so that he can finish what he started, and Eri, we would like you to join him. Oh, so it wasn't the mission to restore the temple then? Do you accept? Yes, of course. I still have so many other things to do, but this should be interesting. Very well then, prepare your things, you leave this afternoon. What? Haha, you should have asked for the details before committing to it. He has a point. Well, that's over with. I don't know what stuff to bring. A little first aid kit and something to eat. Maybe a few weapons too. It's true that Miko hasn't given me any instructions this time. I'm going to have to figure it out on my own. I'll start by picking up a backpack and a sleeping bag from my room, along with some clothes. We'll see about the rest later. Alright, that's a good first step, I suppose. Oh. You collected survival bag. Geez, I feel like I've been had. If only I'd known I'd be catapulted so quickly into a new mission. It's a little abrupt, but at least it'll stop me from churning over my negative thoughts. I'm starting to feel increasingly homesick for my world. Come on now, Eri, get a hold of yourself. This is not the moment to be weak. Now I have my bag and a few extra things. It's time to go find some rations, weapons, and things I can use to take care of myself if I need to. I should find the weapons in the forge, the first aid material in the infirmary. As for the rations, I'll go ask Karuto in the pantry. He'll probably give us nothing. Hey there, Missy. How's it going? Great, and you? I'm okay. I'm a little short on gossip, which makes me a little sad. You'll probably have loads when I return. Seriously, get a life. Oh, poor thing. Let's go with the first one. I hope so. Will you tell me everything that happens on your mission with you-know-who? Good lord, she already knows. There won't be much to tell, sorry. Apart from us arguing the whole time. Oh my god, never. I missed you. Eri, never. So, happy about your mission to Belenvia? No chance I'll get bored with Ezarel there. Yes, even though I've ended up with Ezarel. I hope Ezarel won't be a tyrant. What do I pick? Oh my god. Okay, last one. Don't get your hopes up about that, especially when he's dealing with you. What is that supposed to mean? He'll take wicked pleasure in torturing you, I think. No, don't say that. You should get ready for it. And you, what are you going to be doing in HQ then? Nothing, I'm going to stay here. Okay, I get the feeling there's something he's not telling me. What are you up to? Oh no, where is that old guy with my food? Oh, just steal it. Yes, oh god, here we go. Hey, what are you up to, Rugrat? I'm picking up a few rations for the mission Miko gave me. And you thought you could just help yourself, just like that? Do you think you're at your parents or something? I hadn't really thought about it. You really don't feel shame, do you? You young people. In my day, we had manners and discipline. Well, you don't anymore, do you? I had command around here, Missy. Command. People respected me. And here you come making yourself right at home. It's not like it used to be back in my day. Where is Karuto going with this? And he was in command. What is he saying? Go on then, Ingrate. Take this and get out of my sight. I didn't even have time to open my mouth before he went off again, cursing. I don't know what's wrong with him right now, but he's really on edge. Whatever. Great. Well, what have we here? It's my dear partner. How's it going? It was going okay until I learned it was you I was going to Bolivia with. Oh, shut up. Same here. I've been down about it since I found out too. Ignore him. Nice. That really is just so nice. Let's go this one. Having to tolerate you for several days. What a drag. Don't exaggerate. I'm nonetheless an exceptional being. Well, yes, of course. I'm so unimpressed with you, Ezarel. Without Evelyn, the infirmary feels pretty empty. I still have admiration for the courage of Julith, the young purple-haired woman I saw the first time I was here. Luckily, she's not the only one holding the fort. I asked her for a first aid kit, and she gave me one. She had prepared it ahead of time. Good stuff. Oh, Eri, are you getting ready for Bolivia? Bolivia? I sure am. HQ is going to feel very empty without you all. How so? Well, Chrome and Evelyn have already left. You're leaving for Bolivia with Ezarel. Ikar's heading off with Valkion. Yes, so it will feel really empty for you then. Oh, was that the whole conversation? Well, there are the weapons. I don't know which to take. What you do? Oh, Jamon. I'm being dispatched for a mission in Bolivia. I was thinking I should take a weapon, just in case. You already have a weapon. Yes, but I was thinking that I'd like to have other weapons if we're going to have to confront someone or something. Weapon hurt when not mastered. You know have more weapon. Only one enough. Only one already too much. But you were the one who gave it to me. Grr. Alright. Jamon, say again. But weapon must be earned. You cannot take weapon for granted, or like you have right to it. Weapon dangerous. You must protect with this weapon, not attack. Blood not useful, not good. Jamon started to explain at length the benefits and disadvantages of weapons. I understood then that the only reason I had one was because when he gave it to me, I needed it. Despite his stature and warrior-like allure, Jamon seemed to be a pacifist at heart. Violence seemed to be something which disgusted him at the deepest level. I was at once astonished and touched by his speech. I'm sorry, Jamon. I didn't have the intention of hurting anybody. Grr. I promise I'll never use my weapon to do wrong. He held out my weapon to me again. Me trust you. Eri not disappoint Jamon. In the end, I'm not going to have any more weapons, and I've been lectured from Jamon. I have everything I need. I only have to go see Miko and tell her I'm ready. I'm ready. Well, Miko is not alone. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Getting distracted. Never. I know it's against your principles, but we don't have a choice. I just want you to take the risks of this mission into account. If they learn we stole them, they will most likely attack us. Is it really worth it? I hope so. Uh-oh. I have no idea what they might be talking about, but it looks important. I'd better leave. Eri, what are you doing here? I'm sorry to disturb you. I just came to say I was ready for the mission. Well, actually, I'm sorry you surprised us in the middle of this conversation. Ezarel is already ready. You'd better join him at the outskirts of the forest. Okay, good luck on your mission. Get home safe. Why, thank you. I don't know what mission Never has to carry out, but it doesn't look like it's risk-free. I left to join Ezarel. Okay, ready? Yes, let's go to Bolivia. The present. Well, even though I'd sooner have gone to help rebuild the temple and see Huanghua, I can't lose sight of my main objective. Carry out the investigation I had been trusted with. Where am I going? Well, any progress on your side? No, I haven't started interviewing the inhabitants yet. I've been daydreaming about the past. What are you waiting for then? How about you? Always the same answers. They didn't see anything and didn't hear anything special either. Nobody knows why Wilfried went further than planned. Well, Isn't that just convenient? There's the village matriarch. I'm going to talk to her about the rocks I found outside. Matriarch. Just call me Hagley. I'm sorry, Hagley. Did you sense an earthquake this evening? No, why do you ask? I noticed a load of rocks like these near the place where Wilfrid was found. So, sorry. Sometimes we have little rock falls. Are you sure they weren't there yesterday? Some of us are miners, so it's not surprising there are rocks everywhere. Yes, I'm sure. I wrote all this down in my notebook. Oh. Oh, look who it is. Look who it is. Think of a Minaloo and it appears. I don't know what that is, Ezarel, so your insult is just useless. Like you. I'm sorry. So, making any progress with your inquiry? I see you and Chrome opted to split up. That's good. You'll cover more ground that way. We're making progress, yes. I'm waiting to have more information and more clues in order to uncover everything. Good. Excellent work in any case. I can see you're not slacking off. Whatever. Okay, I guess I gotta go here. Moss, footprints, and pieces of rock. Okay, I shall be back once I find all of these. Alright, well that was quick. Well, I found quite a few clues. I don't think I'll find anything more around here. Oh, okay. Hey, there's the lady from the village who sells Mowgli's milk. I wonder what good it does her to sell it here. Hello, I hope I'm not disturbing you. No, how is your inquiry going? Well, we're hoping we'll find answers as soon as possible. I also have a few questions to ask you. Sure thing. I saw non-humanoid footprints at the place where Wilfrid was found. What type of creature is found in these caves? Many kinds. I showed her the sketch of the footprints. Sorry, but I have no idea what could have made that. I see. I kept passing her stones as well as pieces of moss. I don't recognize this moss either. My husband is a herbalist, but I've never seen him with this. As for the stones, they must come from the caves, no doubt about it. There was another rockfall during the night, although it was a very small one. Thank you for the information. There's the village matriarch again. I'm going to talk to her about the moss. I'm going to talk to her about the footprints. Let's go this one. Hagley, I picked up these bits of moss. I don't think they were there yesterday. Could you bring that a little closer, please? I'm afraid my eyesight is not what it was. No problem. Many villagers go to those caves to gather medicinal herbs and moss. But I must admit that these prints aren't anything like what we usually find. Okay. I noted that down in my book too. Oh. There are people over here. I found quite a few things at the cave entrance where they found Wilfrid, the young man who was keeping watch yesterday evening. I know very well who Wilfrid is. I'm Gostian, his brother. Oh, excuse me. And I'm Luce, the wife of this tall glass of water. I see. Okay, and? Do you have any information you could give me on the subject? I found these rocks, this moss, and also some non-humanoid footprints. I showed them the sketch. Was Wilfrid in the habit of going into the caves during his working hours? No, not really. Normally he's a very serious guy. Well, Amelia is sick right now. I bet Will wanted to find medicinal herbs down in the cave. It's just a cold, Luce. I see. And what about the rocks? Was there a rock slide in the night? We didn't hear anything this evening. About the footprints, I gotta say, we have a lot of little beasties around here, and I don't think I've ever seen prints like that. Okay, that doesn't really lead me anywhere. There's the village matriarch again. Hagley, I saw some footprints where you found Wilfrid this morning. Do you know anything about that? Were they humanoid? Not really. They were more like paw prints from some creature. I showed her my sketch of the footprints. We have many creatures here, and none of them have prints like that. I see. I made a few notes in my book. There's Gostian and Luce again. I probably won't get any new information. Oh, alright. Okay, well, I've interviewed enough people and I have quite a few clues. I don't think there's anything else I need to know. Let's go find Chrome then. He's here. I didn't have to look too long there. Hey Chrome, made any progress? Yes, I don't think I can get any more information out of them. You know those footprints? I held out the sketch to him. Nobody can tell me what made them. So it doesn't come from these parts. I got the impression it didn't. In any case, that's not what they told me. What else did they say? They spoke to me about rock falls, which could explain the rocks we saw. What's more, some of the inhabitants are miners, yes. I have a strange feeling that, logical what this explanation is, it's hiding something. Me too. What could it be? Oh, you have other notes about this? Yes. Let's see. He snatched my notebook out of my hands. Excuse me, young fellow. That's interesting. So before making our report, we should probably review all this. Same as you, I think I've got as much information as I'm going to get. I'm going to write everything down in my notebook, if you don't mind. That's cool. While Chrome told me all about his investigations, I scrupulously noted down everything that seemed useful, and then showed him so that he could check what I had written. Surprisingly, he was irreproachably professional when working. It was a world away from the Chrome I'd gotten to know in the Jade region. Of course, I haven't told you about the little old ladies who bent my ear off while trying to pinch my cheeks. Yes, we'd better keep that little detail to ourselves. Are you okay to go give this report to Ezarel? As you like. I don't mind you coming with me. Quite the opposite. Okay. Okay. Where is this guy? There's Ezarel. Are you ready? I have to be. What are you doing here? We've finished interviewing the inhabitants and collecting clues, so we were coming to give you a report. We were coming to give you a report on the situation. Okay. I held out my notebook to him with all notes I'd made, explaining at length what we had seen and done. Chrome did the same. Well, it looks like you've done good work, for once. Oh, Ezarel. It would have scorched his tongue if he'd been nice for just 2 minutes. Thanks anyway. You can go rest now. Is that it? Yes, what are you waiting for? You, to finally authorize us to go explore the caves. I am sure there is something weird about all this. The footprints, the rocks, the moss. None of that was there yesterday. What did you think? That I was going to let you go exploring all alone, like a big girl? That I'm going to take responsibility for your future poisoning? Who do you think you are? Seriously. I don't think I'm anybody. I'm just asking you to let us help you, Ezarel. You can help me. Be silent and obey. Excuse me? Does he think I'm going to lay down and let myself be treated like that? I'll have you know that. I started getting more and more tense. Was I dreaming? Chrome pulled me backwards to cut my protest short. Let's head to the inn. I have to talk to you. Ooh. Is he for real? Eri, getting annoyed won't do any good. Did you see how he talked to me? Be silent and obey. What kind of macho is he? I said stop. I know why he talked to you that way. Oh, so you think there's a good reason for him to treat me like that? Don't get up on your high horse. Just listen to me a little. I'm really having a hard time staying calm. While you two were talking, I subtly read through his notebook. Good on ya. And, as you heard, he was talking about poisoning. When I talked to the cave dwellers, they told me that when you go deep inside, there can be long tunnels. I don't see where you're going with this. I saw his notebook. Ezarel wrote down something. That's ancient Greek, which means, I guess that. Yes, it is indeed the basilisk, like in the stories he told me. Chrome, the stories that come from my world and what really happened are two different things. Hang on, wait. Think about it. Who have you met recently? As in locals from here? No, before. Huanghua. Yes, and she's a Fen Huang. Ezarel wrote Huanghua's name just next to the word antidote. If I remember my lessons about reptiles correctly, only a Feng Huang is capable of curing basilisk wounds. I'm thinking back to what Huanghua told me about coincidences. I think that your meeting with Huanghua was a sign that we're going to battle the basilisk. I don't believe that for a second. That seems pretty likely. I don't really know what to think. Last one. I don't know. When I think of basilisk, I just think of Harry Potter. That is all. We should talk to him about it. I'm still pretty angry at the whole situation. And at what Ezarel said. He better apologize. I'm going to go get some air. I spent a little time outside. That feels good. I had better go back in. Oh, all right. I went back to the inn. Honestly, I'm still wide awake. But should I be? At the same time, I understand that I really am between a rock and a hard place. I think, yes, I'm sure something is up over there. When I think about it, not at all. This one. I must succeed in keeping a cool head where this mission is concerned. I fell asleep quite quickly and woke at dawn. Eri, come down here immediately. I need to see you. I quickly got dressed, then went to join Ezarel on the ground floor of the inn. What's going on? Get ready. We're exploring the caves this afternoon. Really? Is it because of what I said? No. I was waiting for Evelyn to return. She's concocted a few potions and amulets for us. Why? Protecting us from potential poisons we might face. Or at least, that's what we're hoping. Why didn't you tell us that? Because you were so freaking annoying. I wouldn't have tolerated one iota more of that. Ezarel, you are so annoying. What he said to me yesterday is still bothering me. I'll wait for you in front of the village. I have a little something to do first, but hurry up. I'll go tell Chrome. No, he already has another assignment. He's going to help me with explorations tomorrow. And Bucky and Valerian. Today they're doing the paperwork. I quickly finished getting ready. Now I have to go join Ezarel. I've arrived at the gates of the village. Ezarel is still not here yet. He arrived after a few minutes. Okay, let's go. Put this on and drink that. For once, it actually tastes good. I put on a necklace and drank the potion. Darn it, that's disgusting. What a liar. Haha. Idiot. Ooh. In any case, I'm used to exploring caves. I want to shout out with joy, but I think Ezarel would make fun of me again. Okay, for starters, we're going to explore the entrance of the cave and the surrounding area. I don't really want us to go in too deep. We're going to start by checking out the terrain the first time around, okay? Sure thing. Oh my god, why are there so many places to choose? Crow. What are you doing here? You're supposed to be working on the remedies and vaccines with Evelyn. That's what I'm doing. I came here because she needs a sample of the poison source in order to make a good antidote. Did she ask you? Or were you just like, I thought it could help? Pff, honestly, what are we going to do with you? Go back to the village and give Evelyn a hand immediately. And don't let me see you come back. Sorry, Ez. He left just as abruptly, while Ezarel seemed to be muttering something. There's not much here to sink our teeth into, so to speak. I still picked up a few pieces of moss on the path to give to Evelyn, but I'm afraid they'll be no good to her. Psst, who's that? Hey, Eri. I turned around and went ahead a little further, without Ezarel seeing me. No way, Chrome! What are you doing here? Not so loud, he'll hear you. I started whispering. Are you serious? He told you to go back to the village. I know, but now, this is kind of a last resort. Evelyn has already explored all the possible antidotes, antipoisons, charms, etc. As it is, all I've got for new ingredients is air. I need things that come from here. How do you mean? The best would be to get venom straight from the basilisk. I've done some research, and I've found a way to make the potion, but I need the secretions. I believe you. If we find proof, we'll bring them to you. You should go back to the village or you'll be in trouble. Again with the basilisk. That's ridiculous. Let's go this one. Thanks. I'm impatient to find out if I'm right. Say, can I ask you for a favour? What is it? Could you talk to Ezarel about my theory? Sure I can. I'll tell him all about your idea, okay? Sweet. He headed off and I turned towards Ezarel. Ezarel, I totally forgot to mention this, but Crone proposed a theory that explains the identity of the thing that is poisoning the villagers. He thinks it might be a basilisk. A basilisk? What made him think that? The involvement of poison, the cave tunnels which would work well as passages for such a creature, and Huang Hua. Crone thinks her arrival at HQ wasn't a coincidence, but a sign of destiny. Haha, interesting theory. I'm almost impressed. I'm not going to tell him we saw his notebook scrawlings. Ahem. That idea came to me too, but there are some puzzle pieces that don't fit. Like? There are no traces of a bite. I thought I'd find secretions on the walls or on the ground, which might have explained the poisoning, but there's nothing. I see. And I already asked Evelyn to contact Huang Hua and ask her to concoct some phoenix tears. You never know. Phoenix tears? Yes, it's a rare remedy, and only the Fenhuangs know the recipe. Okay, so you're not ruling out the hypothesis, but you're not totally convinced by it. Exactly. No theory should be left unexplored, until we have solid proof against it. Okay. Hey, there's an opening in the roof. I'd better go up there. I might find something interesting. I talked it over quickly with Ezarel. If you're going, I'm following you, he told me. Okay. Oh my god. Darn it. We've ended up at a dead end. I still get the feeling that there is something over there. Would my intuition really have led me here for nothing? I moved a big rock out of the way, and the passage continued on behind it. Ooh. Whoa, what is that? That's a Grukan. Jeez, what is that companion doing here? I can try and catch it. Of course I'm going to try and catch it. I'm not letting you get away, honey bunch. You have my word. Okay, I think it's this. I think, but I'm not sure. No, come back. Darn it. I turned towards Ezarel. Sorry. I failed. Cheeky thing. Even though I was being careful, I ended up sending a pebble ricocheting along the walls without making too much noise. Way to be discreet. I'm impressed. Sorry, that happened involuntary. Don't worry. I'm not worrying. By the way, Eerie, yes? Sorry about yesterday evening. I overstepped. Well, there it is. The apology. Yeah, you did. Is there such a thing as a macho elf? Ha. It's not like me, you know. It's true that I'm your superior in this mission, but you don't have to obey me without thinking. You were right not to want to be silenced. I knew it. Don't make too much of a big deal of it, though. Just because I'm giving you a spoonful of honey doesn't mean you can eat the whole pot. Haha. It's as if taking responsibility for his weaknesses burns dear Ezarel's insides a little. I hope you won't be too harsh about it in the end. We'll see. Be nice and maybe it will appease me. I'm not mad at you. Okay. I can see you haven't forgotten which way is north in any case. Don't tell him that. Don't. I have an excellent leader. Don't tell them that. Anyway, thank you for apologizing. That was sweet. Say nothing. That's not nice. I take responsibility for my mess ups, that's all. Alright. We've explored a pretty big part of the cave. I imagine Ezarel has already been further in, but would rather not take too many risks while I'm here. I heard something like a rumbling. What is that? Can you feel that trembling too? Yes. The villagers talked to me about rockfalls. That's not a rockfall. The cave is collapsing. Let's get out of here. What? Rocks are starting to fall on top of us. We have to get out of here as fast as we can. Well, we got out of that all right. I'm not sure it was a big rockfall either. That's not what it looked like when you were saying, the cave's falling down, let's go, with your face all in a panic. I wasn't panicking, just surprised, if you say so. There is something in that cave. I'm even starting to wonder if the rockfall was a sign that our presence isn't welcome. Are you thinking it was the basilisk? No, we would have heard it whistling. What are you thinking? Nothing for the moment. I'm fine with just watching for now. What about you? Any theories? Maybe it's a rock monster or some kind of vegetation. Maybe it's a ghost. Sorry, I have no idea. I was for the basilisk one, pretty much. Let's go. It's a rock monster. A rock monster. What's the name of this creature? Sorry, I'm not as up to speed with fairies and companions as you are. That's so cute, haha. Don't call me cute. But it's an interesting idea. Aside from that, did you notice anything while we were in the caves? Not really. The moss, it was too well tended to be natural. It seems like the villagers come and take some from time to time to use as medicine. That's a different conversation. It's as if someone was keeping their house neat and tidy. That's true, I hadn't noticed that. Well, all that sounds pretty weird. I'll talk to Hagley about it. If you find Evelyn, give her the samples we collected for her. No worries. I imagine they're at the inn, along with Chrome. Probably. At least, if that moron of a wolf set off when I asked him to. I hope he didn't stay in the caves. Evelyn, it's good you're here. Oh no, she does not look well. What's wrong? Nothing. What did you need from me? Don't insist on leave her in peace. Insist on knowing what's troubling her. Don't insist. I just wanted to inform you that we've explored the cave. I continued explaining what we did and saw during our excursion, and gave her the samples of rock and moss that we had collected. Chrome, on his side, had come back to the village after our meeting and hadn't made much progress on creating an antidote. The task seemed more arduous than we had thought. Maybe that was why Evelyn seemed to be so on edge. In order to not bother her, I decided to go back to my room in the inn. There, I wouldn't make any waves. After nighttime had passed, I heard a knock on my door. As long as no one comes in, I'm still in my nightgown. Eri, get a move on and meet me at the entrance of the village. Okay, I'll be right there. I rapidly put my clothes on and went out in front of the inn. I didn't even have time for breakfast. Mrs. Hagley? Mrs.? Just Hagley, child. As I was saying before Eri arrived, we just addressed the current state of the surroundings. Sorry. Very well, but take care of yourselves, okay? Yes, don't worry. I know you elves. You act proud, but as soon as you're trapped, you're as good as children again. But, if you insist, go ahead then. She left. Ezarel is red with anger. For once, Eri, you'd better shut it and listen to him. No, I like teasing him. As you heard, we're going to survey the surroundings. Chrome and Valerian will accompany us, and they will take up the rear. Okay. Ezarel briefly explained the conversation he had with the matriarch, in order to give me a taste for the adventure to come, to quote him directly. Rockfalls are common, yes, but have only been so for the past years. They started around the time the crystal shattered. This made me start wondering once more about the power of the crystal and the immense influence it had on this world. Hey, come on, we're going. Alright. We arrived in front of the cave. Valerian, Chrome, you two will stay behind us, well back. At the slightest problem, warn the villagers. Make the most of the time by mapping out the lay of the land. Eri and I will explore the caves a little today. Why her? That's not fair. Shut it, Chrome. Stop fussing. We are leaving now. We leave now. It's strange. Everything seems normal. Almost. In any case, right here, there hasn't been much damage. What is that noise? My stomach. I don't know, but stay behind me. Okay. I went up close to him, making sure not to touch him. Specifically. I can't figure out where it's coming from. I get the feeling we're being watched. This reminds me of when I met Karen, except that this time it's probably not her making the voices I'm hearing. What was that? Oh my god, what the hell was that? Eri, something touched me. Out of reflex, I grabbed onto his arm. That was weird. Act like nothing happened. That was a reflex, I'm sorry. Sorry, I immediately let go, embarrassed. This one. We're going to pretend that never happened. And it was probably an insect or some small critter. I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary. I saw something. It was weird. I ventured a little further than I thought I would. Wait for me here. What do you mean? Stay back. Is that easier to understand? I got that part, but why? As you notice, the cave is practically unchanged, despite the rockfall, which seemed pretty sizable. I'm going to go check a little further on. I'll call you if there's a problem. Okay, and what do I do if you don't come back? Tell my wife I love her. He said that in a tragic way. Yes, come on. Don't worry, I'll be back before long. And worst case scenario, there's always Valerian and Chrome nearby. He left me alone in the half-light and the cold of the cave, and although I tried not to dramatize, I absolutely did not feel safe. To avoid feeling useless on top of everything else, I took my weapon in my hand and took a few turns around the perimeter in order to... After what felt like hours, I started to worry. Ezarel still hadn't come back. What in the world is he doing? He should have been back a while ago. Should I go check out what's going on? Call him. Set off alone to continue the quest. Wait a little longer. Okay, let's wait a little longer. I'd rather wait a little longer. How long has it been now? I can't take this anymore. I have to go look for him. There isn't anyone over here. I better not shout his name, as that could cause a rockfall. Ezarel, what is he doing now? He's playing a trick on me. This is ridiculous. Ezarel, I know you're just pretending to have fainted. At least, I hope you are. What a jerk. I went close to him. Ezarel, oh my gosh, he really has passed out. I can't just leave him here. Eri, what are you? Stop touching. That's not okay. He regained consciousness for a few seconds just to tell me that. Sorry, little elf, but now I have to touch you. I don't have a choice. I started to drag him out of the cave by passing my hands under his arms. Even so, I wasn't really strong enough. Eri, you've already... What happened? Ezarel, he told me to wait for him and went on ahead, all alone into the depths of the cave. Then when I saw he didn't come back, I went to find him, and I found him on the ground. He's unconscious. Val, help us carry him. We have to take him to see Evelyn right away. Valerian put Ezarel on his shoulders like a sack of potatoes. I followed the group close behind. When we made it to Evelyn, she looked horrified. Ezarel, she took his pulse straight away. May the crystal be praised. He's still breathing. Val, take him to his room. I will be right there. Eri, what happened? Ezarel and I were exploring, and he told me to wait for him while he went in slightly deeper. I waited for a while, but when he didn't come back, I came to look for him, and I found him on the ground. What an idiot! She left in a rage. I'm going to go help her. She's going to need my skills as an alchemist. Sorry. I moved away from the inn, sensing that my presence was not welcome there. Evelyn didn't even ask me to help her. She must be thinking that this is all my fault. No. I'm so mad at myself. I should have refused to listen to him. Why did I obey him that one time? Why? Now, my child, do not tear yourself up about this. It's not as serious as you think. Yes, it is. I'm sure he's been poisoned like the other inhabitants. Your friend is alive and has you to thank for bringing him this far. That is the most important thing. I feel guilty all the same. If I'd have known what was going to happen, I'd have been able to help him. I could have followed him and stopped him from getting like this. If we were capable of getting by without the Gardaval, that would mean he would most likely be in good health too. Painting over the world with ifs helps no one. Things are as they are. You have no reason to be angry at yourself. You found your friend in the caves, and you saved his life. Therefore, you needn't be thinking of anything else, if you say so. I chose to put some distance between me and the others and left the village to get some air. I guess it won't help to go bug Evelyn for news. She has all the help she needs. I'd better wait for news, even though I'm very worried that it might be very serious. If even one of them is infected, we are all doomed. Shoot, even they're talking about it. I don't know where to go. It looks like their leader has been poisoned. Can you believe it? How terrible. Shh, she's the one that found the boy. Quiet now. Nice. I feel like I'm contagious now. Hey, it's Chrome. Hey, you don't look too good. Lie. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I'm not really, no. Is it because of what happened to Ezarel? Yes, I feel really guilty about what happened to him, and I'm very worried. I don't know the details yet of his state, but you shouldn't feel guilty. It's not your fault, you know, if you say so. Oh, it's true. Neither me nor Val, nor even Evelyn have told you it's totally your fault. You're responsible for all of this, as far as I know, so stop imagining things. I should have stayed with him. You found him. You probably saved his life, and that's all that counts. I know, that's what the matriarch told me, but I can't help myself from thinking I should shoulder my share of the blame or burden. Well, stop thinking that. I, on the other hand, have to go now. I'll ask Evelyn to come give you news as soon as she has the time. Okay, thanks. Let me see you smiling next time, okay? Okay. He took me in his arms to comfort me, then left. Oh, Chromie, aren't you cute? Maybe Chrome is right. I must have been there for an hour or two. I don't really know what else I can do. Eri, I'm glad I found you. Evelyn, how is he? I won't lie to you. Ezarel was not at his best. As you will have guessed, it was poisoning, like the villagers. Yes, he's stable at the moment, but it's impossible for me to transport him to HQ right now. Is he going to be alright? I hope so. Until now, the other patients have all regained their strength a few days later. However, he, in his state, he's in critical condition. I don't know why, but it looks like he received a greater dose of poison than those I've treated up until now. What do you mean? I can't explain it. I don't understand what makes one patient more ill than another. And this is after spending entire days studying this horror. Oh no, she really looks on edge. If only I had a sample of the original poison, that would allow me to develop an antidote or vaccine. A sample of the poison. Maybe I could go look for it. Eri, I'm sorry for bothering you with my thoughts. You must have been so upset by this whole business. Did you want to talk about it? I had better not bug Evelyn with all my inner feelings. I think I know how to make her feel better. That's okay, I'm fine. And I'm gonna go and get the poison. Are you sure? Chrome told me you didn't look well at all. Most of all, I was really worried. Okay. I'm not going to hold you back, unless you need my help. No, we'll be okay. The boys have already helped me out, and I think you need time to breathe and rest. Yes, you're right. Good luck, Evelyn. Good luck, Eri. In all your pursuits. In all my pursuits? She left straight away. I wondered if she'd talk to me about the poison on purpose. Well, I have to try to bring some of that poison back, even though I don't know what creature I might meet in the tunnels. I'm going to avoid talking to anyone about it. I'm sure no one will agree with me on this. There, I'm in front of the cave. I'm extremely worried about what happened to Ezarel. Come on now, Eri. Be brave. I don't really know where to start, or especially how to go about meeting the creature or creatures that inhabit this place. In any case, I've never come this far. I don't know what I'll find here, but I have nothing to lose. You kind of have everything to lose. I went forward a little further, until I heard noises that sounded like crying. Is anybody there? No reply. I can't figure out where it's coming from. Hee hee hee. Is that laughter? I can hear people talking, but I can't hear what they're saying. Oh my god, they're mushrooms! Whoa. What is it? It's a mushroom family. Hey, wait for me. Who are you? What is that? Give me my teddy back. In your dreams. We have it and we're keeping it. Yeah, well, if you want it back, you'll have to come and get it. But I'm going to tell. They're talking mushrooms. Leave Milo alone, you bunch of bullies. Intruder! They all ran away. Lord above, I must be going the right way. Oh my god, this is freaky. This is freaky. Did you poison my well, he's not really my friend, but, you know, did you poison that guy? Hey, who are you? I'm Eri, and you? Who are you? My mummy told me I must never speak to strangers. Okay. Can you come help me? My friend is stuck. Come and help me, miss. I followed him without really thinking about it. Oh no, he's stuck between two rocks. I managed to get him out without much difficulty. Hello, you. Hey, let me go. I don't know who you are. It's Eri. Of course. Is she your friend? No, but she seems nice. This is a surreal situation. I'm going to put this thing on the floor, and already it'll be... Ow, that hurts. Do you want me to take you to your parents? Yes, I hope so. It's way at the back of the cave where it's all blue. What is this place? It's truly magical. I feel like I'm in a dream. Hey, put me down. Those are all my friends over there. I put him down on the ground so that he could go join the other mushrooms I'd seen earlier. You are actually a very nice lady. Are those your friends that come to our house sometimes? They scare me. If you're talking about the people that look like me, yes, they are my friends. Children, come back over. Who are you? What are you doing in our domain? My name is Eri. My friends and I were summoned by the inhabitants of the nearby village. So, you should not be here. One of my friends was poisoned. Oh, I'm sorry. You should go and see our leader, Ethel. Suddenly, her demeanor darkened. It's as if she knows something. Interesting. Without a doubt, these creatures must point towards the solution to the problem, but to what extent? Could they be the origin of the poisonings, like the great fly? Yep. Hey, Hoot. Her. Excuse me? You're looping for worms? Excuse me, I don't understand what you're saying. You shanga stir here. Haha, thank you. I moved away from him, you weirdo. Hello, young lady. Oh, this must be him, the leader. Hello, I imagine you are the patriarch of this village. Indeed I am, but what are you doing here? Usually no villagers venture into our domain. You should leave before something unfortunate happens to you. That's just it, I'm not a villager. I'm a member of the Guard of El, and we have been dispatched by the inhabitants of Belenvia to research a series of poisonings, although one of my friends was poisoned today. I was hoping you might be able to give me some answers on the subject. Indeed, I fear we may be responsible. Responsible? It is we who poisoned him. How? Good gosh, I've thrown myself right into the lion's den. I backed up a few paces, half terrified, half astonished by what I just learned. No, young lady, do not be frightened. It was not our wish. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Be on guard. How is that possible? I mean, how can you be responsible for this, but against your will? Let me tell you our story. We are organic mushroom-like beings, as you can see. My people and I have held our place in these parts since the Great Exile. We have made it our home, our world. These caves protect centuries and centuries of our history. And how old can he be? Up until now, we have always lived in harmony with the inhabitants of the surrounding lands. Like guardian angels, we provided them with rocks, moss, everything they needed to set themselves up well. They provided them with these things. That would explain the rock slide. They never discovered our existence, and for those who came across us, we used our poison to put them to sleep and wipe away all memory of us. But the more time passes, the less control we appear to have over our poison. But this is wonderful. Wonderful. I just told you that we are uncontrollable and you find it wonderful. Yes and no. It is you who has this poison, and I only need a sample of it so that one of my friends can create an antidote from it. That could allow us to cure everyone who's been poisoned. Is that really possible? I explained to Patriarch Ethel who Eveline was and what she could do. I thought I saw a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Unfortunately, I must have spent a little too much time in the caves because I felt increasingly fatigued. We have noticed that we release more spores at night than during the day. I wouldn't want you to run any senseless risks. So leave now and we will give you a sample of our poison tomorrow morning. All right. Mascamillion, you are the bravest among us. Accompany her up to the boundary. You're a girl with you, missy. When he saw my quizzical expression, the patriarch translated Mascamillion's words. Everything will be all right, honey. Strangely, I believe him. The Myconate all said goodbye to me. I wondered if for them I was like a new member of their family or like a fairground animal. We very soon arrived at the boundary. I imagine this is where we part ways. Yeah, and that means yes. Yeah, okay, thank you very much. I'll explain everything to the villagers and I'll tell them you are peaceful people. I'm sure you'll be able to live in harmony very soon. You won't have to hide anymore, I promise. Thank you, Airy. Thank you, Mascamillion. I went a few steps further. It really is very difficult to walk. My vision started to blur. Please let me reach the village so I can explain everything. Oh, wow. Super blurry. But where is this exit? I'm feeling increasingly bad. Everything around me is starting to spin. Oh my god. This is hurting my eyes. Why is everything gone blurry? I have to hang on, even though I'm starting to pass out. I'm almost there. I'm outside. I really don't feel good. I'm not going to make it back to the village. The Myconites. I promised them. Eveline, Ezarel. Eri, what are you doing here? We've been searching for you for hours. Chrome? What's happening to you? The poison. I have to... Eri. What's wrong? Where am I? Sleep well? Ezarel! I got to my feet, straight as a rod. Calm down. Doesn't look like you're 100% yet. How are you? What are we doing here? As you can see, I'm doing great. We've been brought back from Belenvia by Evelyn, and about that, thanks. Thanks? For saving me. Oh, I can't stop myself from blushing. No problem. Ezarel, tell me everything that happened, please. A serious expression etched itself onto his face, and I immediately saw that nothing had been simple. First off, good news. The Myconides were true to their word and provided a sample of their spores, which held the very essence of the poison that had touched me and Ezarel. Unfortunately, the poison seemed too volatile, and Evelyn found it was impossible to create an antidote or vaccine which lasted any length of time. The evolution was too fast, such that she couldn't explain it. But there were worse parts to this story, as I was soon to learn. Can't we do anything to stop it? Not really. Ev gave me her notes to read. I checked absolutely everything. The formulas, calculations, doses. We studied the spore in depth, and it acts like a virus, like a poison. We were very lucky to come through it, actually. And the villagers, what will become of them? I can't answer that. Why not? You should go see Miko. She'll tell you herself. Ezarel, you're scaring me. I'm sorry. He left without giving me any more answers. I'm still quite weak, but I think I'm strong enough to go to the crystal room. Eri, it's you. Apart from the 3 boys and Jamon, the entire Light Guard is present. Kara, would you excuse us? Eri, he squeezed my arms. It's good to see you. I missed you. Haha, thank you. He left without one more word, and I sensed the atmosphere is more than tense. Ezarel told me to come see you about the Belenvia mission. Yes. Given his expression, I imagine it didn't end well. Tell me everything. Come sit down. But there aren't any chairs here. We sat down on the steps leading down to the bottom of the staircase. What do you remember? Well, I had gone into the caves to look for a sample of the poison. I paused, almost certain I'd received a lecture for my excess of zeal, but no, Miko stayed silent, as if hanging on my every word. That's where I met the Myconides. They are an entirely peaceful people. It's just that they can't seem to control their powers. I know. We had already heard of them, and we managed to contact them before. Before what? A few hours after Chrome found you, he went back into the caves, determined to show those who'd hurt you. But the Myconides never did anything wrong. We know. When he arrived at the cave, their patriarch was standing guard in front of it, with a vial in his hand which contained the poison. First, we tested the product on Ezarel. The results surpassed our expectations, and he was very soon back on his feet. I'm sensing a but. Yes, there sort of is one. We started to negotiate a treaty and served as mediators between the Myconides and the Belenvians. It was a very difficult situation to manage. On the one side, there were the Myconides, who couldn't leave their caves for fear of seeing their race wiped out. On the other side were the Belenvians, who refused to leave their native territories. Why do the Myconides think their race will be wiped out? Well, because they have been living in these caves. They have almost all become dependent on them. This environment has become vital to them. Jeez, that's so sad. So anyway, it seemed that all was going well, but one morning one of the villagers was found dead in front of the caves. Dead. According to Ethel, she ventured into the caves to find a remedy for the cough her sister had, or rather her sister-in-law, I think. What was her name? Luce. No, that can't be. I'm sorry, Eri, that's not all. What do you mean? Her husband went to confront the Myconides, mad with rage. He wanted only one thing, to hunt down and kill these creatures. Numerous villagers, probably wary of the situation and frightened by the idea of abandoning their lands, followed him on his vendetta. Please, tell me the Myconides are alive and well. They are alive, but I can't promise they're alright. They made the decision to close the cave before any villager could get inside, and also to slow the spread of their poison. How could Hagley let that happen? How could Ethel think such a sacrifice was the right solution? It is very difficult to act in the face of the anger of a man whose heart has been shattered. As for the patriarch, I think he was the best solution for now. I think his was the best solution for now. We should intervene, take up our arms, and show Gostian that he's wrong. That is not our role. Well, what is our role? The Guard of Al comes to the aid of those who ask for it. Belenvia has clearly indicated hostility towards our presence. We cannot go there against their will. That is against our values. We must evade the situation from afar. I know it's hard to stay here, powerless, while such an event is happening, but we must know our place. Believe me that as soon as we can intervene, we will. It's not good enough, Miko. There's mushroom people. This is too much for me. I'm sorry. Tears are coming to my eyes. I must get out of here. I have to go to my room. I don't want them to see me collapse. Those poor mushrooms. Goodness, what an awful place. I went to sit down at the edge of the bed, and I put my head between my hands. I knew it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows here, but still. Oh, Milo and his friends. All the mushrooms. I didn't have time to get to know them all, but still, I know they are kind beings with no bad intentions. Why don't the Belenvians understand that? And Luce, she was an innocent victim, poor thing. I can understand the pain that Gostian must be feeling. It's the second time I've faced death since I've been in this world. How many more times will I have to confront it? Will I even be capable of that? Eerie? I let myself in. I saw you leave the crystal room. You didn't seem well at all. What's wrong? I learned about what happened in Belenvia. After you passed out? Yes. How are you? Sorry, I don't want to talk about it. Bad, very bad. Fine, can't you see? I hope you can hear the sarcasm I'm lacing my voice with. You know, you can just say not good, or I don't want to talk about it. You don't need to keep your guard up with me. He sat down next to me and put a hand on my shoulder. I'm going to stay here. If you want to talk, or even just not say anything, I'm here. Thank you. It's okay to cry and yell as well, if that might make you feel better. I have no idea what to do. Don't let myself go. Let myself go. Let myself? I started to cry, somewhat reluctantly. It sounds forced. Lieutenant came a little closer to me and put his arms all the way around me. Aww. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel good with him. His presence is calming me despite everything. He has such a familiar sweetness. Wow. Mummy, that's it. His eyes shine with the same warmth as hers. I miss her terribly. My family, my friends, and even those stupid responsibilities that I so wanted to run away from when I arrived in Eldarya. I've been here for more than 3 months. Lieutenant, I want to go home. Okay. Even though I got stuck with Ezarel in that episode, I actually don't mind. I really liked that episode. I think it was good. It was really sad at the end though, but yeah. And as much as it sounds like I hate Ezarel, I don't. I do have a little bit of a soft spot for him. I do like teasing him, but anyway. So that's the end of that episode, and I will get into episode 13 as soon as possible. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye.